So how to be a financial grown-up.
Yes.
Doesn't that just take large injections of cash?
It does, and that's why you have to get it together and start earning more money. One of the best parts of this book that's gotten a lot of flack is that I focus more on earning more money, whether it be through upping your game at your current job, side hustles, adding to your skill set, whatever it is, than cutting back. Because you can only cut so much, right? So cut, don't do stupid things, don't spend money that you can't spend, but focus more on earning more, getting more, being more productive, being smarter about the way you work and the way that you negotiate how much money you're earning. That's just as important, if not more important, than this whole like saving money all the time. I mean, save money like in your savings account, but constantly looking to save a dollar here and there. If you really want to have coffee with your friends, go have coffee with your friends. Maybe don't order the big latte, have a little coffee, a regular coffee, but live your life. There is something to be said when you're getting out of school, especially when you're young, to having that steady paycheck, paying down your student loan debt, and taking charge that way. I don't want to neglect the fact that it can be wonderful to be an entrepreneur. That is ultimately, if you're successful, probably the best way to make big money. But never discount the value of a corporate job and moving up and learning from other people. Sometimes people want to be an entrepreneur so quickly that they don't gain the skills, and that can lead to failure. So figure out what you want to do. If you really feel you should be an entrepreneur, if you have to start right away and it's in you, okay. But very often it makes sense to mentor. Find a mentor in the right industry, get your feet wet, learn how your future competition works, then go.
The stakes are very high.
You know.
How do I know that the money that I scrimp and save and put in my 401k is going to be there when I'm older?
This is the perfect question. I did a column on this whole issue, and it's called Invest and Chill. And it was about how millennials are so wary of the stock market because they've seen so many people get burned, and they see that there are forces that can work against you. What I would recommend is diversification of your investments. So invest some of it in the stock market, potentially through a robo-advisor. I have Wealthfront and Betterment are in the group. Those are good places to start. Goldbean is another good place to start investing. But you also might think of your home as an investment, or think of your education as an investment. So diversify in that way. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but you must do something. Because if you just stick that money under the mattress, as they say, it's not working.
How are we supposed to be a financial grown-up when it appears that the system is rigged against young people?
I totally get what you're saying. And one thing that I make clear in my writing in general for Reuters and in the book is that young people have faced a really tough macroeconomic situation. So for Gen Xers like myself, we were called slackers for good reason, because we would live at home because we were kind of just avoiding being a grown-up because we wanted to go to the mall, shopping was a sport. For younger people today, they're often living at home because they're socially and financially responsible, and they've got to pay off their student debt, and they don't have a job yet, or not a job in the field they want, or not a full-time job in the field that they want. So you have to go with what you have. It is what it is. Healthcare hopefully will get better. I think there's a big societal movement to make healthcare more affordable. I do expect to see big changes in the educational system. I don't think the system is sustainable, and I think that's been a big political discussion this year with the election. There are some changes coming down the way with student debt, in that there are more government programs, especially if you go work in certain government jobs like teachers, other jobs, you can get help.
So tell us a little bit about writing a book. What's it like?
It was so much fun because it just came to me. It was one of these things that was 6 months to write, but 20 years in making. So I used to drop off my son. I have a 9-year-old. I would drop him at school, run off to the library or Starbucks or Whole Foods, get a table, and I would just pour my heart out writing this book. And it just came to me instantly.
And a lot of star power in this book.
Yeah.
A lot of star
Amazing
power.
people that wanted to be a part of this project. And I have to tell you,
Tell us a couple
it
of
was
them.
meant to be, what's incredible was this was meant to be 10 people. It was meant to be 10 chapters with a lead-in from an inspiring person to each chapter. And we ended up having 30, and I had to call it. I just said nobody else, because so many people were so responsive when I reached out. I think the issue of financial literacy is really hitting home right now. I wish we were talking about it more in the election, rather than what I call retro jobs. I think there's a lot of talk about these jobs
our
that are,
candidates don't seem to be very financially
No, I mean, my
literate
9-year-old wants to be a YouTuber, and I can't tell him that's unrealistic. It's completely realistic to have a job like that, to be an influencer, do social media, to be a coder, to be a video game designer. These are real jobs that can earn money.
But our politics doesn't
and
talk
our
about
politics doesn't talk about evolving that way. So my hope is that perhaps after the election, we can talk more about financial literacy and preparing young people to actually be financial grown-ups as they get into the independent life stage of being adults. We don't know what the future holds, but we do know we're all going to have to manage our money. That's the one thing. And if you manage your money well, you can be doing the job that you want and hopefully find a way to have it pay, or find a job that's lucrative to support your passion.